Okay, here's the RACAL RA1772 HF receiver. Goes 15 kilohertz through to 30 megahertz. Designed in the 1980s, in fact late 70s, by RACAL Communications in UK. Manufactured in Western Road and other RACAL facilities in UK. I've had this radio myself only about 1 month now. I've corrected a few of the issues that were wrong with it, but the filters are now 8, 3 and 1, 8, 3 kilohertz and 1 kilohertz. I've yet to label that. However, the receiver is operating now as to spec. So I'll just switch it on there and we'll have a look so it can actually hear this evening. So it's just started up. I've just had it on the 10 meg side. I'll just give you a quick bit of a tour. There's an onboard speaker which is not too bad. The megahertz is a selectable arrangement. Just select the required megahertz you're on. And the kilohertz is a tuned arrangement, so you can tune around. This is setting in a fast or a slow mode. Slow mode is 10 hertz steps, and fast is 100 kilohertz. To the right of the display is the out of lock LED, which is obviously extinguished at the stage to show that it's in lock. And then we have a meter functionality, which I'm not sure you can see that through the light there, shows a number of different possible outputs. The audio level, the first mixer drive level, the power supply ratings, and normally leave it back on the RF input level. So currently dropping down, I saw the meter selection. There is an AFC function, the main audio drive, modulation mode selection, upper and lower sideband, CW, AM, and there's a FSK facility which can be fitted. This particular unit doesn't actually have it. Left of the tuning knob, we have an input pre-selectability, just so if you do have large input levels close by, you can reject it. Something like 60%, 60 dB at 12% off. AGC is short and long, or in fact off, which I don't tend to use. Tend to use on the short or long setting. The tuning rate we just had a look at. There's an onboard BFO which is not that good. It's an analog system. It's a dual free running oscillator on board. It sort of gets the job done, but it's not that particularly stable. And there's an IF adjustment. Below the knobs you see the AM upper sideband and the lower sideband adjusters for the ISB outputs. Anyway, let's just have a quick look and see what we can hear this evening on the RACAL 1772. We'll change it to one of the more livelier bands this time of night. See what we can actually hear on this band. BBC World Service is normally up at 140, and this is an 8 kilohertz bandwidth, 3 kilohertz bandwidth. Still not that strong this evening. It's coming in from Thailand, so it's a long way away. We're in Brisbane at this stage. There is an AFC, as I say, down here, and you can see the carrier on the meter just slightly kicking. If I was to simulate a slight bit of off frequency, you can see it beating. And if we switch on the AFC, we get a lock indicator. So we're now actually locked to the carrier of the incoming signal. I'll switch it off for the moment. Let's find something a little bit more stronger. Not sure what 685 is. It's a reasonable level.
But the government unusually allowed people to stage the second protest following those last Sunday, apparently
nice
indicating China sentiment among the people.
And again, we can actually lock onto that if you want.
The International Monetary
It's actually locked straight to it.
It was found recently that hackers had infiltrated into its computer system.
Just give it a run on single sideband and see what else we can hear. I'll drop down to the 40 and 80 meter bands. Let's try 80 first. There's a weather fax system running. Let's see what else we have on the band, if anybody else is up there. No, it's pretty quiet. Slow morsel here up there somewhere. Maybe. No.
Manly, we're in a meeting every Wednesday, doors open at 7:30 p.m.
And we'll just have maybe one quick listen on 7 megahertz. There were some stations earlier on this evening. No, it's all gone very quiet. One last try on some single sideband. Let's see if you can hear Brisbane Aeros Nautical. It's always a good. I don't know if anybody else is on there. Having operated a number of HF receivers over the years, my favourite of all time was obviously the R390, which I enjoy operating on HF, and I think was about as far as valve technology really got. And for my money, this was the last of the real human interface receivers, solid state. It has a modest input sensitivity. It's an early synthesizer with some sideband noise from the synthesizers, but I have to say this is probably the best transistorized solid state receiver that I actually use, and I have a few of them here. So this is the RACAL RA1772 UK receiver.